I need to shift this just a little bit because what we have is a big divide at this point between Western cultures and Muslim cultures as far as understanding. We all, excuse me, know that there is a lot of significance to the word ignorance. Ignorance does not denote stupidity. Stupidity is having the facts and doing nothing with them. Ignorance is not having the facts so that you can't make a proper decision. There is a very large misconception in the Western world, especially in America, as to our Muslim brothers and sisters. We do know that the mainstream media has a very large role in this because due to sensationalism and what will sell Coca-Cola and Pepsi sponsors, that Muslims are not portrayed very often in the mainstream media in a positive fashion. As a matter of fact, a vast majority of the time they are portrayed in a very negative fashion. If you tell a lie or a mistruth enough, eventually it becomes the truth, especially in a culture like America. So, Professor, what do you feel needs to be done to re-educate or to steer the mainstream media in the United States away from the constant negative perceptions they put forward to the American people? Because this is a huge reason for a lot of the ignorance of Americans towards what, well, Muslim means peace, but the average American would not agree with that. What do you feel we can do to dispel this and maybe educate the American population on what true Muslims actually believe and portend?
Yeah, I mean, that is really a big and important question. I think that
yes.
I think that you are absolutely right. I mean that there are certain statements that can never be accepted if they are done or said about some race, some other religion or gender, and yet the media sometimes, I mean, often even politicians can say things about Muslims and they can get away with it without really any cost. And I think that is a really a genuine concern in the Muslim world, that in the name of freedom of expression, a lot of hatred can be said. And this is a problem, and I think I recognize this, and it must be addressed. And I think, I mean, through education, I think the Duke Islamic Studies Center really is making an effort to educate communities, to educate the media, to reach out to public officials, to talk, to present Islam and its diversity. And I think that the U.S. government also can play a role in terms of saying, okay, there are certain things that are no longer acceptable. I mean, if you cannot say them about other races, other religions, and other groups, we cannot say them about Muslims either. So how do you balance this kind of, respect for other religions with the freedom of free expression? I mean, that is really the challenge. And you are right. I mean, the idea of when we talk about Islam or Muslims in the media, often it is associated with images of burning the American flag. It is associated with popular protests, with against the United States, and that is not very productive, I think, image of Islam. But there are also criticism that there are reasons why the media is reporting on these events, is that they happen. I mean, when concerning the latest controversy of the video, I mean, it was, well, the backlash was real. I mean, it is reported, it is presented in CNN, in other networks, and people see that. I mean, families are busy with their time. They go to work, they have children. They don't have the time the luxury to go to the library and read about nuances of one religion or another. I mean, nobody has time to do that kind of research, that kind of knowledge. I mean, we have to recognize that. And therefore, what they see is the 20 seconds in the screens, and that's how they formulate their opinion. And I think that is a problem that needs to be addressed. That that just like we cannot say racist remarks on television, just no politician can say an anti-Semitic remark and survive political office. The same should apply to Muslims, and that is not the case today. You can say anything you want, not anything, but you can get away with a lot, and you are assured that nothing is going to happen to you, and that will have to change.
This is by far the biggest mission of the Building Bridges Project. When WTPN initiated the Building Bridges Project, it was to reach out to our Muslim brothers and sisters and dispel ignorance. And for all of my brothers sitting in the studio there, we are so proud of what's going on, and we are so happy for what you're doing. This, I believe, is one of the footprints that will lead to us dispelling a lot of this ignorance. And the Building Bridges Project is a phenomenal project.
Yes.
Yes, it is.
Thank you very much.
The problem I think that we have also in the U.S. I don't think it's I don't think that is just with the Muslim community or and I'll include all races. I think it is a unilateral problem that we have in the U.S. And one of the friends that I've recently made and will be on one of my shows, will be on the radio show actually later in this week, is Raja Mutaba. And he is a Pakistani journalist. And he was asked the question that U.S. officials and media say, according to principle of free speech, everybody is free to say whatever he wishes. So insulting a religion cannot be considered illegal. And they asked him what his opinion was. And what he said, and it really hit home with me, and it made me think, you know, that's why I think that this is also an American problem, and I think there's some arrogance and ego that go with it. And I think it's also kind of one-sided on the American part, and I think he has a good point, because what he says is attacking a religion is freedom of speech. And this is what me and Roger hear this all the time, it's freedom of speech. But in America, if you attack the Holocaust, it's not freedom of speech anymore. Then it's hate speech. But if you attack a Muslim or Islam, then it's freedom of speech towards religion. And freedom of speech is an excuse. This is going back to what Mr. Mujaba said. Freedom of speech is an excuse where they want to get away from responsibility. Why are they detaining an American soldier who spoke out against the war in Afghanistan, and why is he not being released? And does he not enjoy that same freedom of speech that these people did that made this movie? The U.S. applies the law selectively where it suits her, and I have to completely agree with that statement. I think on the political side, I think we have a lot of bias towards American goals and what they are, and the way that the freedom of speech gets applied here in a lot of ways. And I know we fight this a lot on our end here in the U.S. Because there are a lot of issues with freedom of speech. We have a lot of people that seem to think that freedom of speech gives you the right to trash or demean or belittle other people. And what a lot of people don't realize, I don't think, or they just don't fathom the idea that freedom, along with freedom of speech and any freedom or liberty that is naturally given to us by Allah or given to us by God, that is naturally instilled to us when we were born, also comes with a responsibility to respect each other and to respect each other's beliefs, as the professor said earlier, and I know we're all pretty much in agreement with that. But when you take freedom of speech to a point to where it does damage, and sometimes irreparable damage to a faith or a religion or another person, that is no longer freedom of speech. That is bad character, it is bad intellect, and it is bad education, in my opinion.
Yes, sure. Thank you very much. We came to another end of our Building Bridges Gateway show, and I believe that, as a conclusion, we have to present Islam in the very best way, according to the Quranic morality that is mentioned in the Quran, for sure. The essence of Islam is written there, and we have to behave according to the verses in the Quran. And I believe Professor MAGHRAOUI is doing his best presenting Islam in the Duke Islamic Studies Center, and you guys as well, inshallah. You are trying your best, you are, inshallah, to show what Islam is all about in the heart of the United States, and we thank you as well. And thank you very much, Professor MAGHRAOUI, sharing your precious time with us. And we hope you to see here in our studio in Istanbul as well. Inshallah. In the future.
Inshallah.
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 Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
we shall
you,
hope to
Professor.
see you.